Listen to me carefully, because this might be the one moment in your life when the truth hits you harder than anything else. Every single day you wake up, you're making choices that shape your future. Not the big dramatic ones, but the small invisible choices that either destroy you or build you into something unbreakable. And here's the raw truth. Life doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, or how tired you are. It only cares about the outcome of the choices you make. You can choose to be a happy loser, smiling while you settle for less, laughing while you quit early, pretending it's okay when deep inside you know you're betraying yourself. Or you can choose to be the stressed winner, the person who carries weight on their shoulders, who battles with discomfort, who sacrifices ease for victory, but walks away with respect, power, and freedom. Both lives are painful. Losing hurts your soul, winning tests your limits, but only one path gives you pride when you look in the mirror. Only one path creates a legacy, so ask yourself now, do you want the fake comfort of a loser or the heavy crown of a winner? Discipline is the invisible contract you sign with yourself when you decide that average is not enough for your life. Most people believe freedom means doing whatever they want whenever they want, but that's a lie sold to the weak. Real freedom doesn't come from chaos, laziness, or indulging in temporary pleasures. Real freedom comes when you control your own mind, your own body, and your own habits. Discipline is the chain that looks heavy at first, but it's the very tool that breaks the prison of mediocrity. Every time you wake up early when you don't feel like it, every time you train harder than your body wants, every time you choose work over distraction, you are paying the cost of discipline. And that cost feels painful in the moment, but it's the only investment that builds the life where nobody can dictate your path. Most people waste their lives believing they're free because no one is standing over them with a whip. But they're slaves to weakness, to laziness, to endless scrolling, to fast food, to cheap dopamine. They confuse being undisciplined with being free, but it's the exact opposite. A man who cannot control his own impulses is not free, he's owned by them. He spends money he doesn't have, eats food that poisons him, wastes time he can't get back, and then wonders why his life feels like a cage. Discipline is painful because it forces you to silence that weak voice inside that craves comfort. But it's only through silencing that voice that you get real freedom. Freedom to walk into a room with confidence. Freedom to look at your bank account without fear. Freedom to know your body, your health, and your future are not at the mercy of your worst habits. Discipline creates a power that the undisciplined will never taste. The man who chooses discipline over ease today gains strength that money can't buy. When you wake up at 5 a.m. to work on yourself, when you train until your muscles burn, when you learn skills while others waste time, you become untouchable. You are not reacting to life, you are shaping it. Discipline forces you to do the uncomfortable things now so you can live in a way others only dream of later. The undisciplined man will look at you with envy, calling you lucky, but luck has nothing to do with it. You bought your freedom with the pain of sacrifice, with the currency of consistency, with the repeated decision to say no to weakness. That is the real cost of freedom. The price no lazy man is willing to pay. The greatest illusion in life is that freedom comes cheap. Look around you and you'll see millions of people who avoid discipline because it feels restrictive. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, that it's not the right time, that they deserve rest. And yet these same people wake up in jobs they hate, tied down by debt, with bodies they're ashamed of, constantly complaining about their lack of opportunities. They don't see the irony that by running away from discipline, they've chained themselves to the most suffocating prison of all. A life with no control. Discipline doesn't take away freedom, it multiplies it. By mastering your time, your health, and your focus, you gain choices others will never have. You can walk away from toxic jobs, you can build wealth, you can create respect, because you are not dependent on anyone else's mercy. That is the freedom every man secretly craves. Discipline is not glamorous, and that's why most people never stick to it. Nobody claps when you wake up before sunrise. Nobody cheers when you skip junk food, when you save money instead of wasting it, when you grind through work that no one else sees. But that's the beauty of discipline. It's a silent battle fought in the dark, and it's the victory in those unseen battles that gives you daylight freedom. The undisciplined want results without process, comfort without sacrifice, freedom without cost, but life doesn't work that way. The price must always be paid. You either pay in the currency of discipline now or in the currency of regret later. One gives you freedom, the other chains you to misery. And when the bill comes due, the weak man cries, while the disciplined man smiles, knowing he bought his future long before anyone noticed. Discipline teaches you mastery over your emotions, which is one of the purest forms of freedom. Most people are slaves to their feelings. They act only when they feel like it. They quit when it gets hard. They change their path at the first sign of discomfort. But discipline trains you to act regardless of mood, to push forward whether you're tired, angry, sad, or uninspired. That control over emotion is what builds resilience, and resilience is what keeps you unshaken when life throws storms at you. The disciplined man is calm in chaos because he has built himself in the furnace of routine and effort. The undisciplined man panics, complains, and blames the world because he never trained his willpower. Freedom is not found in avoiding problems. Freedom is found in knowing you can face them head on because your discipline has already sharpened your spirit into steel. Discipline also buys you the freedom of time. Most people waste their days repeating the same cycle of distraction and then wonder where the years went. They think discipline steals their time because it demands structure and routine, but in reality, discipline gives them back their life. When you are disciplined, you stop wasting hours on meaningless things and you start stacking progress daily. You read instead of scrolling, you build instead of consuming, you train instead of decaying. Over time, this compounding effect creates freedom others can't imagine. While they are stuck in the same place for years, you are free to travel, free to create, free to live on your own terms. Time is the most valuable resource we have, and without discipline, it slips away unnoticed. With discipline, you command it, control it, and use it to buy the life you actually desire. Comfort is the most dangerous addiction in the world because it disguises itself as happiness. People chase comfort thinking it means they're safe, satisfied, or at peace, but in reality, comfort is the slow poison that drains ambition drop by drop. When you choose comfort over challenge, you choose stagnation over growth. The couch feels warm, the food feels good, the distractions feel entertaining, but while you sit there feeling comfortable, your dreams are decaying in silence. Comfort doesn't kill you in a day. It kills you slowly, year after year, until one morning you wake up old, weak, and bitter, realizing you wasted your life chasing feelings instead of purpose. Comfort is the silent killer because it doesn't hurt at first, it feels sweet, but like sugar rotting your teeth, it eats away at your potential until there's nothing left but regret. Potential is like a seed. It requires struggle to grow. Seeds must break apart underground, push through dirt, and fight for sunlight before they can become trees. Comfort is the force that keeps the seed buried forever, tricking it into believing the soil is safe. Human potential works the same way. Without pressure, challenge, and discomfort, your talents never see daylight. You think comfort is protecting you from pain, but it's actually protecting you from greatness. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not more talented than you. They simply chose discomfort over ease. They woke up early when others slept in. They faced rejection when others avoided risk. They worked when others relaxed. Comfort whispers lies, saying you can wait, you have time, you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes for the man addicted to ease. Only those who reject comfort and embrace the grind ever discover how high they could rise. Comfort seduces you with short-term pleasure while stealing your long-term fulfillment. Every time you choose comforts, leaping in instead of training, eating junk instead of fueling your body, scrolling your phone instead of building your skills, you feel a small hit of relief, but that relief is a debt, and like all debts, it comes with interest. One comfortable decision doesn't seem harmful, but over weeks, months, and years, it piles up into a mountain of wasted potential. Discipline requires pain upfront, but it rewards you with freedom later. Comfort rewards you upfront, but it chains you with pain later. Look at people trapped in jobs they hate, bodies they despise, and lives they never wanted. None of them got there overnight. It was death by comfort, small lazy choices repeated until their potential suffocated. Comfort is the assassin that never raises a blade. It just lulls you to sleep while it steals your future. The deadliest thing about comfort is how normal it feels. Society praises comfort. It tells you to relax, take it easy, don't stress yourself. It sells you soft beds, endless entertainment, junk food, and excuses packaged as self-care. But the truth is society benefits when you're weak, distracted, and passive. Comfort keeps you docile, obedient, and dependent. It robs you of the hunger to create, to fight, to dominate. Comfort keeps you average because average people are easy to control. Potential can't survive in comfort zones because potential requires resistance. It requires friction. Diamonds are made under pressure, muscles grow under strain, and character is forged in discomfort. When you choose comfort, you choose to remain ordinary, and ordinary is not a crime, but it is a tragedy if you are capable of more. Comfort convinces kings to live like peasants, warriors to live like slaves, and leaders to live like followers. Every person has moments when comfort whispers in their ear, telling them to quit, to rest, to wait until it's easier. That voice is dangerous because it sounds reasonable, even logical. It tells you you've worked enough, that you deserve a break, that no one else is pushing this hard, but your potential doesn't care about feelings, it only responds to action. Every time you ignore comfort and step into discomfort, you stretch your limits, you become more than you were yesterday, you prove to yourself that you are capable of things others cannot imagine, but every time you obey comfort, you shrink. You weaken, you betray the version of yourself that could have been unstoppable. Comfort doesn't destroy you in an explosion. It erodes you quietly until one day you can no longer recognize the strong, ambitious person you once dreamed of becoming. Comfort is dangerous because it doesn't demand a decision. It demands nothing. And in doing nothing, you destroy yourself. Potential thrives on movement, progress, risk, and ambition. Comfort thrives on stillness, laziness, hesitation, and excuses. The person who chooses discomfort will struggle, sweat, and fail, but through that pain, they evolve. The person who chooses comfort will laugh, eat, relax, and feel fine, but through that ease, they decay. The tragedy is that comfort feels good today, but it steals the fire of tomorrow. You never meet your full potential in a place where nothing challenges you. You never discover your strength in a zone where everything feels safe. Your true self is forged in the battle against fear, fatigue, rejection, and resistance. Comfort silences that battle, and in silencing it, it silences your greatness. It doesn't kill the body, it kills the soul. The most powerful people in the world are not those who avoided stress, but those who mastered it. They understood that comfort is an enemy dressed as a friend. They chose cold showers over warm beds, risk over safety, pain over ease. They understood that greatness requires discomfort, and they paid that price willingly. Potential is not unlocked in moments of comfort. It is unlocked when you are trembling, sweating, doubting yourself, and still pushing forward. If you run from discomfort, you run from the very process that shapes you into who you were meant to be. The silent killer doesn't announce its arrival. It waits until you are too weak, too soft, too passive to fight back. Then it whispers, "It's okay, just stay where you are." And if you obey, you bury your potential alive, never to see the light of day again at the end of the day. Life is not asking whether you want easy or hard, it's asking whether you want to matter or to disappear. Discipline is not punishment, it is the down payment on the life you say you want. Comfort is not peace, it is the trap that steals your future while you smile, thinking you're safe. Every man and woman has two choices: pay the price of discipline today, or pay the heavier price of regret tomorrow. There is no escaping payment. There is only deciding what currency you are willing to spend. Freedom, pride, respect, health, wealth, none of these are free. They belong only to those willing to sacrifice comfort and embrace stress, sacrifice laziness and embrace consistency, sacrifice excuses and embrace discipline. You can pretend comfort is enough, but deep down you know you are capable of more, and ignoring that truth is the greatest betrayal of all. So make your choice wisely. Be the disciplined one who earns freedom, not the comfortable one who buries their potential. Be the warrior who carries the crown of stress, not the fool who wears the smile of a loser. The world belongs to those who act, not those who rest. Thank you for listening. May you find the strength to choose discipline, the courage to reject comfort, and the fire to unlock the greatness inside you. God bless you, and may your journey always be worthy of the life you dream of.